Picture a house on fire. The arsonist who struck the match is caught holding the kerosene, and then he announces that he will lead the official investigation into the smoke. That scenario is currently playing out inside the New Zealand Parliament. Stephen Rainbow, the Chief Human Rights Commissioner, is facing a formal King's Counsel investigation into his conduct. The man managing the inquiry is Justice Minister Paul Goldsmith. He is the same minister who appointed Rainbow to the role. The Human Rights Commission functions as a last line of accountability for Māori, Pacific, trans, and disabled citizens. Its baseline expectation is tika, a Māori principle of correctness and fairness. Placing a minister in charge of investigating his own unlawful appointment suggests a crisis that extends far beyond a simple administrative mistake. In December 2023, Stephen Rainbow texted an ACT Party operative to offer himself for the role. He didn't follow the standard application process. He used a political backdoor. An independent panel, including a retired Supreme Court judge and an iwi Chairs Forum representative, formally rated Rainbow as not recommended. Minister Goldsmith overruled that panel and silenced the Māori voice in the process. To secure the appointment, his cabinet paper claimed Rainbow had experience as a legislator, a qualification Rainbow has never held. The High Court describes actions taken beyond legal authority as ultra vires. In December 2025, a judge ruled that Goldsmith broke 2 laws to install Rainbow. Despite a judicial ruling proving the appointment was illegal, Goldsmith publicly stated that he stands by the decision. The highest human rights office in the country is now led by a man who failed his assessment, was installed via a falsified document, and holds no legal mandate. The Human Rights Commission appointment is one piece of a much larger map. It sits at the intersection of 6 distinct ministerial portfolios controlled by Paul Goldsmith. Goldsmith simultaneously controls justice, Treaty of Waitangi negotiations, and media and communications, along with 3 other portfolios. In February 2026, Goldsmith used a secret cabinet meeting to strip treaty obligations from 23 pieces of legislation governing health, environment, and education. He then abolished the Broadcasting Standards Authority, removing the independent watchdog. Normally, citizens would turn to the Human Rights Commission to challenge the removal of those protections. But with an ally unlawfully installed, that final door for accountability is effectively barred. The unlawful HRC appointment functions as a legal shield. By compromising the only body capable of investigating the government's wider anti-treaty agenda, the architecture of capture is complete. A minister broke the law, the courts confirmed it, and yet the political system has no mechanism to force his compliance. In Tikanga Māori, utu represents the restoration of balance. It is the reciprocal act required to return a relationship to equilibrium after harm has been done. By refusing to acknowledge the High Court's findings or remove his appointee, the minister is actively refusing utu. He is choosing to let the imbalance stand. Without the restoration of balance, the harm compounds daily for Māori, Pacific, and trans citizens who are left to rely on a compromised commission. Restoring the system requires the removal of the unlawful commissioners, the recusal of Minister Goldsmith, and the immediate restoration of the 23 stripped treaty clauses. The defense against institutional arson is rangatiratanga, the collective power of whānau to organize and demand that their rights remain protected. Now that the architecture of capture is visible, it can be dismantled.
Ka ho whai tonu mātou, ake, ake, ake.